And we are back. The boys are back. The Punt boys are back. The action's here. Taggy's back as always after a busy week and a half. We've had a fairly good weekend. Bish has got an extra big smile on the face as he's beat me in fantasy this week, so he's got bragging rights for the week. Destroyed me, to be fair, but we can cover that in a bit. But first off, lads, how are you? And how was your weekend of NFL?
How you been, Tag? How you been?
Yesterday was a bit of a frustrating NFL watch for me because I've just moved house and Sky actually got fitted today, so I had to do the old Sky Go iPad last night. And obviously, I'm on the group chat with you boys and that, and the other groups. And as we know, Sky Go is probably about a minute behind. So there was a few spoilers before stuff happened, but it is what it is. The Sky's fitted now, and I'm excited to get it on the big telly next week, Red Zone again.
Brilliant. Bish, how are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah. Missed the London game. Had training Jamaica. We play tomorrow, so Tuesday night. So missed that one, but got back for the 6 p.m s. So yeah, some good action. Looks Baker again. Bit of a slow start, but Bucks scoring a lot of points, and Jaden Daniels as well. Although they got beat, he does look special, doesn't he? So yeah, looks really good. And then the Dallas Cowboys. We'll leave it there. Might be brought up a bit later on, maybe. But yeah, good weekend. We're seeing some good action now, 6 weeks in, and like you said, even with Dak at quarterback, I got the winning fantasy, so happy days.
Like it. Well, let's get straight into it, lads. It's Overreaction Monday. It's Monday evening. Brilliant weekend of NFL. Lots of ups and downs. Lots of storylines. Tag, give us your overreaction from this weekend.
I've got it written down here, lads. Don't need to read it from the phone, but my overreaction Monday is Jordan Love is gonna be a multiple Super Bowl winner by the time he finishes the career. I've seen enough of him now. We saw him come back from injury. We saw what he did last year. They got so unlucky not to make the Super Bowl last year. The way he throws the ball about, he come back with a bad knee injury, still chucking 3-4 touchdowns. He's getting fitter again. The team's so young around him. He looks so composed, so natural. For me, he's the guy who's standing out now as the one guy who can really contest Mahomes over the next 10 years. And I think he'll get the better of him sometime. So my overreaction Monday is that I've seen enough of Jordan Love to say he's going to win a couple of Super Bowls.
Where do we see it? Love that. Love that. That's a proper overreaction. I'm with you as a Packers fan, Tag. Love it. I'm all, yeah. Absolutely love it. Totally agree. I just love that he doesn't concentrate. He's not a Stafford type. He's not one that concentrates on one receiver and just gets locked in. Dak does it a bit. He just sees the field so well, doesn't he? There's no receiver you're looking at every play. There's nothing. He just sees the field, picks out of his pass, and has a couple of interceptions, but rarely misses. And I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think he was back to his sort of normal self this week as well. Obviously, had that knee injury, took a week last week. I think he were back. Yeah, and he's in a great team. They run the ball really well. Obviously, with Josh Jacobs, you've got McKinney. The signing, he's got an interception every week. But what about the NFC North? All 4 teams currently in the playoffs as well. So strong division. But yeah, looks a player with a hell of a future.
I just like the fact as well that Green Bay just put the team first on a lot of decisions over the last few years. They're not scared to back themselves, do what people don't expect, and to still come out on top. It's a special franchise owned by the fans, as we know.
Yeah, I like it. Bish, Overreaction Monday. Let's have it.
Mine's a bit watered down because it's from last week, but as they've not played, I'm gonna use it again. But obviously we know about the firing of the coach. But for me, the Jets would be a far better team without Rodgers. I've got it down here. He looks like a bottom 10 quarterback. He looks awful, I think. I'm over him. He's whining all about me. You know what it reminds me of? You've got an halfback who plays on your edge. He makes a bad read. A try goes in, and he points at centre and winger. shouting at them, "What have you done?" That's what it looks like to me. Just like there's no sync with any of his wide receivers. It looks like he's throwing things at interception and just like he looks at his wide receiver. What's happening? It's just I don't know. I think the wrong person got fired. If I'm honest, I think it should have been offensively rather than on the defense side of things. But it's the head coach who takes the fall. But yeah, for me, things need to change massively. Like you said, it's a win now franchise. They've put a lot into this, and they're all over the place. The defense is obviously keeping them in games constantly, has done for years. But I say years last year. But yeah, for me, it's something needs to happen massively. Give the ball to Breece Hall. Sorry, get it out of Rodgers' hands.
Yeah, I'm mixed on this. I'm going to be biased in the fact that Nathaniel Hackett is poor. He was very poor in Denver, horrendous there, probably the worst head coach we've had. And obviously he ain't doing much with the attack. The one defense for Rodgers is the game obviously we saw most recently in London. I do think the wide receivers and tight ends let him down. Earlier in that game in the first half, some very catchable balls that just weren't caught at critical points in that game, which could have swung it the other way. I understand what you're saying, Bish. I want to slightly go against just because of Rodgers' greatness. We had it in Denver. Everyone writ off Peyton Manning, said he was done, and he found a way to win because that's what them type of quarterbacks do. So I understand what you're saying. I fully get it, but I just can't give up on Rodgers yet. I can't do it. I can't give up on greatness just yet.
I just think it's so bland. The offense is so bland for someone so good. And the weapons he's got Wilson, he's got Hall. It's just such an awful offense to watch personally. But
he just don't have got the arm strength anymore, has he?
Yeah.
He hasn't got them. You used to see them laser balls downfield to Devontae Adams, and he's got some speed around him, but there ain't any of them big long plays happening. You just think, is it like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, where they just haven't got that arm strength anymore, and they need to sort of do a bit more on the routes around him? I'm not sure.
And also, to be fair, I think what you're seeing with the running back, that offensive line is absolutely shocking. I think that's affecting the whole team. It's not protecting Rodgers. It's not getting any run blocks for Breece Hall, and I think that's the root of the problem. So I think for all Rodgers' blame, it's tough when the line's not protecting him or creating any threat in the run game as well. But so I'll chuck a little caveat on there and protect my old quarterback a bit.
Well, it's 2v1 in it, boys, but I'm not with him. And tonight for me, if they're going to win, Breece Hall needs to touch the ball 15 plus times.
Yeah.
My ones, I'm going to cop out slightly, lads. I think mine's just a funny take. My Overreaction Monday, I guess my funny take, I'm going to change it. My funny take Monday is that Doug Peterson goes back to America on a flight by himself. I don't think he makes the team flight home. I think you'll see him. I think you maybe see news of him fired before that flight home this Sunday. When they probably fly home Monday. I think we get the news before Monday evening or Monday afternoon when the flight is, and Peterson will be at the Jags no more.
Yeah, it's a mess there, isn't it? If we're being honest, an absolute mess. There's no confidence there. Some of the comments he's saying, it's just a guy who's looks to me like he's lost the team. And once you lose the changing rooms, we know from being spot ourselves, it's a long way to come back from.
Yeah, some of the comments coming out today as well. Lauren's saying, they need to be stronger, that they're a bit brittle. The Andre Cisco, I think, is the secondary, saying it looks like players aren't playing. It's just, when you've got players coming out and saying stuff like that, it's just, something needs to change massively there. And like you said, Patriots coming to town, coming to London. If they can't beat the Patriots, it's all over.
He's on that by himself. I think with the Jags, obviously, I guess concentrating on fantasy wise, it's just sucked all around, hasn't it? The running game's been non-existent. The wide receiver, you've had Brian Thomas every other week. Kirk's been a very, very bad, but I guess at least got a couple of point flex option. It's just been bad for fantasy and been bad in real life. So I don't think there's any positive spin on this one. Bish, I'll let you start us off. Obviously, we'll cover the news slightly. It's the injury report, Bish. I'll let you take us away.
Yeah, straight off, I'm sort of running back heavy here. I'm gonna go with Rashad White. He didn't actually play. It was sort of building up to the game. Out with a foot injury, missed the week altogether. The backup and the third string have come in and have had stormers. So fantasy wise, it'll be very interesting to see. I'm not sure how long he's potentially out for. It might be just a thing if he missed 1 week and he'll hopefully be back next week. But that's a back room to keep an eye on, because the two backups came in and did very well. So Rashad White owners, just if any of the other running backs are out there from that committee, maybe go and pick them up.
Nice, solid advice. I'll cover one actually, lads, and it's I guess for people who are going to stream quarterbacks, I think you can have a look at, not depending on this week, I think you can have a look at whoever plays Detroit in future. Aiden Hutchinson's sadly broke his leg, out for the season. He was the pass rush there. I think if you are streaming a quarterback, and it's a good one, we're talking the streamable quarterbacks there. I think you're not as scared seeing Detroit anymore. I think it's at least viable that you can play them if they're good enough. Even in Anthony Richardson and that, I think with the extra time, the extra space they're going to get with Hutchinson not there, I think it makes quarterbacks at least playable. But you might disagree with me.
No, it definitely is going to bring open that. Be more confident in starting them. We're now good at Hutchinson is. You saw the devastation around the team when he went down. He's a massive character there, massive leader. I think he was a sack leader going into that game in the NFL. Could be wrong. I think he was. So yeah, it's a massive, massive injury that, which obviously he doesn't score fantasy points really. Well, if you got Detroit defense, you might look to move on Detroit defense actually as well.
Yeah, I like it. Tag, have you got one?
Yeah, obviously, I'm going to go close to him on my fantasy team in the punt, and I'm going to say Chris Olave. I'm going with Chris Olave because despite the injury to Derek Carr, I give the rookie Spencer Rattler a chance, and obviously Olave gets injured, concussion protocol. Not nice to see. It was a really sore hit. The way he took the contact and bent back. Looked like it might have been more than the concussion, like an injury on top of that. But it's come out like he's just concussion. He's in the protocol now. He's probably 50-50 whether he plays next week. But on top of that, coming back, and if obviously Rattler's still in there as well, it could be worthwhile looking obviously a bit more depth at wide receiver and give Olave a week or two before you might put him back in.
I think that goes into the next one, lads. It's panic stations, and I'm actually going to merge the two injury report panic station. I've got 3 wide receivers here. Olave is one of them, but we'll start off. I want to know if you're on the panic station with them being injured, and give me some ideas, give the fantasy owners some ideas of where they'd turn to. I'm going to start off. I'm going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. Bish, are you on the panic station? What do you do for the weeks going forward?
I'm not on the panic station. I think you've got to be. There was a lot of hype, obviously, about him, his pedigree coming into the league. I think you've got to be a little bit expecting not as much. He's not, from what we've seen so far, the way Kyler Murray plays, the way that offense plays, he's not going to get a lot of volume. So I think you've got to, your expectations of what he's going to do for you have got to come down a little. But I think other than that, he's. Hopefully he's straight back in. If he misses 1 week, then obviously you're going to need an option there. Maybe Michael Wilson. I'm not really sure where else you'd go in terms of Cardinals players.
Greg Dortch.
Greg Dortch, yeah. But hopefully he bounces straight back in. He will be there. Obviously their main man. But the way Kyler plays, he's obviously very much running rather than throwing. So. I'm not panicking. No, I'm keeping him in.
And I think if you got Trey McBride, you're happy as well because you're going to get a bit more target. You got that volume. Yeah, I'm the same as Bish, Marvin Harrison. Don't send that train to the panic station yet. Keep him sat in first class, ready to come back.
All right, next one, lads. I'll let you think because you've just covered him there. Chris Olave, are you panicking? Disappointing year. Where you at with him?
I am panicking a bit. I'm not fully sending it off, but I've got him in a couple of teams. Got him in the punt team. He's not really delivered this year. When Derek Carr has been good. When Derek Carr was killing it, it's sort of the other blokes around Olave who've like really stood up. And then obviously Derek Carr's out now. Olave's got the concussion. His value is very low at the minute. So it is. I am panicking. A lot more than what I would be if I was Marvin Harrison Jr. That is for sure.
Yeah, I'm on the same front there. It seems like Shaheed has taken a step, hasn't he? You know, with Carr, even with Rattler at the weekend, Shaheed. Well, obviously Olave wasn't in the game much, but Shaheed was the number one target in making yards. So yeah, that's a slight worry.
Yeah, I'm with you. High draft. Yeah, was he a second or third rounder at this?
I think I got him third round. Because I took. Pretty sure I took a CMC dropped to me at 4. Thanks for that. Someone new. And then I think it was James Cook I took. I think I went running back heavy the first few picks.
I'm going to go one, lads. The last one who's been on the injury block, who's just entered the injury block, Dontavian Wicks. Famously traded for him in the Punt League. And it's looking more and more embarrassing by the day again. I've dropped another absolute clanger. Was it? No, it wasn't in this league. I traded for him. I've got him in this league. I think I got him on the waiver wire, but I've not. It was in my other league. I've traded for him in another league. I've got him in this league, and yeah, I was hoping he'd have his breakout game last week. Didn't happen. Dropped loads of balls, and then started off this week another one. I'm on the panic station. Yeah, I think there's too many mouths to feed. As we knew, to be fair, it's my own fault. Too many mouths to feed. Jaden Reed's took a massive step forward. He just looks like a proper wide receiver one now. And you've still got Watson and Dobbs, who came back and had a brilliant bounce back game after disappearing and not turning up to training for a week.
I think you've answered all the right questions there. Wicks, I'm fully gone on that. Panic station, get rid, gone. Give up on that hope. We spoke about Love at the start of the show, the overreaction. You see in Kansas City now, Mahomes, he's that good. He's got a lot of mouths to feed. You aren't really sold in on any of the Kansas City wide receivers, and Travis Kelce just aren't being that guy this year. The other tight ends are stepping up now as well. I think you get into that situation with Green Bay where Jordan Love's that good. He's going to feed everybody, and you don't want to be all in on any of that wide receiver core. And if you are, you don't want to be at Wicks because he's fourth choice at the minute. I think that's clear to see now. So I think you've got wide receivers at Green Bay. Personally, I think I'd be looking to trade now. If I'm a Reed or a Dubs owner or something, while Love's looking the part and while I've just cashed in, the value is high now, I'd probably look to trade some of them Green Bay players now.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I'd be keeping Reed. I think he's the main man. But I think, like you said, but one thing maybe you can afford to do is if you own a Wicks, can you pick up a Dobbs? Because there's no way they're all fit at the same time. So, you know, Wicks is out now, shoulder injury. Dobbs came back. Watson came back. You know, so they're the flavour at the minute. I think Reed picked up an ankle injury as well. So I think they're all interchangeable. I think, you know, they are droppable, but they're also streamable at the same time. So to have one, you're probably handcuffing yourself. It's not really worth it. Maybe having a couple, you can pick and choose, you know, which one you play week to week.
So I was going to say, I need to chuck a player in this panic station mode because I am panicking. I've got him in a few teams. I need Tweedledee and Tweedledum's advice here.
I like it.
Travis Etienne, lads, talk to me about Travis Etienne. My head's fell off with him. He's not even the injury, it's just what he's delivered all year. After such a good fantasy year last year, I've never seen such a fall from grace for an RB1. Crazy.
I genuinely think his injury is limiting him. Like it must be. Because like you said, he can't go from how he was to just all of a sudden drop off drop off a cliff. You know, he has had a shoulder injury that we spoke about on the show previously, and it's come up in the news and stuff. But I don't know. It's you know, confidence thing, playing with a hurt shoulder. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's long gone for me. You know, it's absolute panic. But I'm not. Yeah, it's a weird one, that one. I'm just putting it down to it's got to be massively injury related.
If you asked me before this weekend, Tag, I'd say hold on. I've seen a lot of trade rumours for him. I think obviously with how bad the Jags are doing, how well he performed last year, there was a lot of buzz about him getting traded and going to a team that might need a running back. After his performance at the weekend, Tag, yeah, I think the train's gone, and the trains fell off the tracks itself. Yeah. It's that bad. It's gone off the station, and you've just seen it pull off, and big crash because it's all over. All over.
Yeah, that's it. With the train's gone, it's it's platform 9 and no quarters. It's hitting the wall, lads. But what I'm thinking is, obviously, we've got Chubb sat there. Hopefully, Chubb's back soon. Start Chubb, sit Etienne in the bench, and just wait for him to have one half decent week, and then just try and get a bit of value for him. That's all I can do, I think.
Yeah, you're stuck. Yeah, you're stuck at me, really.
My one I'll throw out there, my team, and I don't know what to do week to week, is Amari Cooper. You know, I've actually played him most weeks, and this week I thought, no, I can't do it again. Sat him for Terry McLaurin, and it paid off. But I keep thinking we're going to see a turn. You know, we're going to see that Browns offense and Deshaun turn a corner. And 6 weeks in, it hasn't happened. What do I do, boys?
Well, we saw some stats last night. I think Watson broke the record for 0 out of 25 last in a row third down attempts. It was 0 out of his last 25 third downs. Some sort of record I'd seen. And then after seeing that record online and started watching his game, he then went 11 from 11 throwing.
Oh yeah, second.
So and that's what you're getting with Deshaun Watson. In my opinion, if I've not got Amari Cooper and I can get a good trade and get him low value trade, I'm taking Amari Cooper. So if you want to do a trade, Bish, and you want Etienne,
yeah. So I got rid of Zay Flowers. I'm waiting for that one big week, and then I can shop him. But yeah, I'm struggling.
I'm actually open into taking Amari Cooper because I think on them bye weeks when he's sat there, he's going to give you that big game. What we saw of him last year in the playoffs for Gramsci. I think that's what he's got in him.
Well, yeah, let's talk.
I'll let us crack on, lads. Bish, it's your segment, so please, for Bish's breakouts, give us your top player of the week.
My star of the week, and you know, probably an unknown player. I sort of mentioned Rashad White earlier. You know, went out injured, and Sean Tucker racked up 32.7 points in the punt. The running back, actually, third string running back. He got drafted last year. He went undrafted. He was supposed to be a mid-round recruit. They picked up a heart condition in the combine, which meant he went undrafted. Later got cleared by doctors after that, but so he's got some pedigree for some talent, but he's racked up, as I said there, 32 points, 136 rushing yards, 56 receiving yards, and 2 touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 1 in the air. He looked unbelievable. You know, the Saints defense against the run has been pretty good this year as well. So they absolutely fell apart this week. So yeah, you know, props to an undrafted player there coming in, waited a year, you know, got his chance this year, and he's took it with both hands, definitely.
Okay, I'll go next, and my one's Chris Godwin. He's 32 points again, 11 receptions, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Highlight it because sadly, him doing so well made our betting day not as glamorous as it nearly was. But it was, I think he looked unbelievable. Baker's got 2 top wide receivers to throw to now. Not now. For the last 3 or 4 years, the Bucs have had these 2. They've been staples, and I think I don't know. I guess, lads, I'll ask quick. Why do they fall in drafts every year? These 2, Evans, Godwin, always get under draft, always provide better value than what than what his draft value says. So give us a bit of reasoning, because I'm looking now for 3 years. There've been 2 elite wide receivers, and it's that they've delivered every year.
Well, for me, I just think people obviously, at one point they are going to fall off that cliff, and we see it with wide receivers at their age. They'll just all of a sudden go bang, the end of the line on the value, and they fall off the cliff, and the points are horrendous, and you don't want to reach for that. But it's unbelievable what them two are doing, and obviously what Baker's on off the back of that. Like I say, you do see it with wide receivers, they all of a sudden do fall off a cliff, and you think, why did I go again one more year of him? It's never going to happen. I just think there's that doubt niggling in the back of your mind, personally.
Quick question. If you have, I'll give it to Bish. Bish, if you have Chris Godwin in any of your leagues, do you trade high on him? Knowing what we know, do you look at someone who might not follow fantasy football as much, and do you try get some big value from him, knowing that obviously they've got Evans to feed, who normally is the red zone man. They've got Cade Otton. They've got these running backs who are performing. Do you give it a go, or do you just?
I'm sitting, especially in ours is half PPR, but if you're in a full PPR league, you get in those points. He plays in the slot. He gets targeted a hell of a lot. I'm sitting with him. If we're looking at trading up, let's be realistic. I mean, you're not going to get Chase. You're not going to get CD. Not Jefferson. Maybe Amon-Ra, possibly. I'm not too sure. I wouldn't do that personally, but so I think he's the top of his tier really in terms of what you can get. So as a one-off, one-for-one trade, I think value, you keep him.
And just don't forget about the division he's in. You're playing against the Panthers. You're playing against Saints with a few injuries. That they're going to be points there to be scored in the matchups they're playing in.
Like it, lads. Yeah, good advice.
I'm going to chuck my player up quickly, lads.
Yeah.
Not a massive scorer. I think 18, 19 points. I've been looking very daft up to now on the wide receiver list at the start of the year when I picked a guy called Keenan Allen, the vet. Keenan Allen. And he got 2 touchdowns in London, scored nearly 19 points. And I think he's going to get more and more now. I think you've got Keenan Allen, you're in a good position because DJ Moore is going to get double teamed. He's wide receiver 1. Keenan Allen is so good. And you saw that at the weekend. It was just easy for him against that team. And I think Caleb Williams is getting better and better every week. So 19 points from Keenan Allen. Yeah, it's not a 20, 30 point score, but if you started him, well done. And I think you stick with him now for a good few weeks.
Yeah, unbelievable player. Always the issue with him is keeping fit, isn't it? Especially now his age. But like you said, Caleb Williams, 4 touchdowns, breaking Bears records. If only you could play the Jags every week.
Lads, the most viewed, let's have it. Waiver wire pickups for the week. Bish, start us off, please.
So I've not got one, but I'm going to go with the Patriots wide receivers. We've seen the quarterback change. We've seen Drake May come in, and he had a decent game. Got off to a rough start, but he ended up throwing for 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, threw in 2 interceptions as well along the way. But I just think he comes in. We know the Patriots, not the biggest scorers. A lot of the time, they're going to be chasing games, which means he's going to be throwing the ball. We saw Keishon Boutte sort of turn into his number 1 receiver this week, and Demario Douglas as well got a lot of targets. So, I think there will be there out on your waiver wire because that offense hasn't been very good under Jacoby Brissett. So have a look on your waiver wire, see what Patriots wide receivers are there, and definitely I'd be picking them up if you can add them to your team. Even sit them on your bench for now and see how Drake May progresses. But I think they're definitely a must-add.
Love it.
Tag.
Yeah, so I'll go next. I'm going to go with a running back. I'm going to go with Dameon Pierce. Obviously, he's been injured for a while. He was brilliant in his rookie season at the Texans. He's RB2 now, to Mixon, clear RB2. We know Mixon in the most, obviously, he gets injured. We know that he's not going to stay fit all the time. He might stay fit, he might not. He had a lot of workload at the weekend, but he's a very good RB2 in the Texans with a very good offense. I think Mixon might pick up more injuries or they'll look to spell him more, rest him more, especially with them getting wins on the board. For me, if you're short of a running back, you could just pick him to put him on the bench, put him in the reserves, see what happens and what's going on in Houston over the next few weeks. But I've always loved Damian Pierce. I had him in his rookie season. And obviously I know he didn't kick on last year, but when he did get them touches at the weekend when he come into the game, he looked really good.
I like it. I've got a must add, and it's for 1 week only, and have your fun for 1 week, and then you can drop in. It's Isaac Guerrero. Took a little swaz on his name there. He rushed 10 times, 99 yards. He's the 49ers top running back for this 1 week. Mason's out. Had multiple games, shoulder injury. I think he did enough to where they probably don't have to risk Mason for this week. CMC's on the way back in the next couple of weeks. So I think that you're only getting a 1 or 2, fingers crossed, 1 or 2 weeks for this Guerrero. But if you're like me, in pretty much all my leagues, for whatever reason, I've got, Bish is the reason for this league why I've got no good running backs and Stevenson. And then so I will be after Isaac Guerrero very high and try figure out. Hopefully Jonathan Brooks comes up for me in the weeks after. Since he'll be coming back soon. But yeah, Guerendo's my number one. You'll get 1 or 2 weeks of value and then you can cut him. But if you need a running back, get him quickly.
Big week against the Chiefs as well, this one.
Yeah, I like it. It's a big week, isn't it? What a game. What a game. Lads, we'll finish off. Bish, I'm going to put you under pressure because you're normally the king of this section again. It's the punter's best kicker of the week. I didn't see as many storylines this week, so I'm going to cop out a bit.
No, I've got one to follow Bish on.
Yeah, there were quite a few misses this week. The kickers have been reliable, winning games. Quite a few misses, but steady Eddie, Mr. Reliable. It's Chris Boswell for the Steelers. 4 field goals, 50+ yarder as well. So yeah, I've got him. I think I have him in the punt actually. Yeah, steady 17 points this week. So that's my guy.
Love it.
Tag, who was yours?
Well, I've cheated a bit. It's not a kicker, but it's special team. So we'll give him a mention. Long snapper of the week, Cole Kmet. Come on, Cole Kmet, the tight end for the Bears. They nailed every extra point. He's long snapping on point. Fair play to the man. He scores a touchdown. He scores 2 touchdowns. He then runs back to the middle and long snaps the ball back for the kicker. Cole Kmet, what a man. Great day for him.
To finish off, lads, a bit about the fantasy this week. Bish has beat me. Tag, how did you do?
Well, we've spoken about Olave and Etienne. I think minus 1.1 between them. Great starting running back and wide receiver, but it looks like I'm losing. I think I need about 25 points from James Cook if he's active and the Jets defense. So we're looking for a couple of rushing touchdowns and we're looking for a couple of interceptions. Josh Allen to have a mare, but feed his running back, and I might have a chance of sneaking away.
But Tag, I'll let you finish off without being negative. Tag, if that doesn't happen, you're going to be 1-5 on the week. Where you at, and what's your plans to salvage this year going forward?
Well, it's about the return of some players. I think a fully fit tag team is the best team in the league. I'm going to be biased, but obviously Nick Chubb's back soon, CMC back soon, Cooper Kupp back soon. With what I've got already, I think the potential is there. I just need to grind out 1 or 2 wins. I think 5 losses against my name don't worry me. I can afford maybe 1 more. I think if you lose 7, you're gone. So if I lose this week and I go to 1-5, I'm happy to be writ off. But the team I've got, I'm going to back myself to get enough wins and still creep into them playoffs. If I make the playoffs, you watch out for Team Goat. Yeah. Team Goat are coming for you.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Isaac Farrell and Lockie Walmsley as well, who are both going 5-1 as well. So,
class.
Yeah, they're doing well, those boys.
Well, and especially that he drafted a quarterback in round 1. I think he's doing it.
He did, yeah. He took Lamar. He moved a long way to get Lamar, and obviously Lockie's debut season as well. So, yeah, they're doing well so far.
Yeah, without sounding too bad, I had multiple of my friends watching our draft, and a few of them said, "Lad, I couldn't watch it after a quarterback got drafted first." Isaac, to all the haters, go get him. So well done. And yeah, you've quickly showed them how to draft QBs early. Get after it, lads, and you'll win your league. Please like, share, subscribe, all the typical stuff. Get commenting, get laughing with us. Like I said, we got some haters last week. We've had some supporters. We love it all. Let's get involved. And yeah, we'll be flying next week. So thank you, lads, and see you all soon.